So when I'm thinking of tower defense games, I generally think of bird's eye views, bad AI, simple strategy with waves of reasonably slow enemies, and turrets, really. Sanctum 2 isn't really most of those things. It's a first-person tower defense game made by indie developer Coffee Stain Studios, who also made the first in the series, and then later on went to develop Goat Simulator. Now, why aren't I playing the first Sanctum game? Well, it's made by the same developers, and it's a tower defense game, so with simple gameplay and being a sequel and all, it's really only just going to upgrade and improve what they made on their last title. That's why I'm playing Sanctum 2. Released in 2013, this is one of the first and only first-person tower defense hybrids, kind of like how Savage was one of the first FPS and real-time strategy hybrids many years ago. I bought a few keys a while back and sent them to Val and Cam, who also review on this channel, and we sunk a fair few hours in, and I can honestly say after this review I'll probably go to sink a few more hours into it casually, as it's a lot of fun. In my off time when I'm not playing games I'm reviewing, I'm often playing Overwatch, and whilst I love that game, you can't always play that in a full group as other people just generally suck if they're not in voice chat. So I like to play games which don't require as many people. The brilliant thing about Sanctum is that it's a combination of two game types, strategy and first-person shooting. Whilst Overwatch has plenty of first-person combat strategy involved, sometimes after a round you might just want to chill out for a bit, and you don't really get that when you play Overwatch. Maybe the first minute before each round, but that's about it. In Sanctum, you get your downtime in between each wave in your planning and plotting stage. So as per any tower defense game, it works with the setup of your defenses and the waves that follow thereafter. Each wave generally has several different types of enemies that are trying to attack your core, or whatever you call this thing. When your core loses all its health, the game is over. The premise is really simple, and I can understand why that might deter people. And I actually bought this game quite a while ago, and I just kind of didn't get around to playing it, but I kind of wish we had started playing this sooner, as it's a lot of fun. Each game starts off with you selecting one of few characters, much like a MOBA where each character has a different playstyle, from your generic first-person shooter to a shotgunner to a heavy and then to a sniper. Each lends its own unique way to play each round and also on each map. During your loadout, you select your towers, weapons, and perks you would like to use. This is where it really allows you your own playstyle and strategy to develop. Each weapon has a secondary function, and at the start of each match you get to select your second weapon. Whilst all these weapons feel different in their own rights, they all have one thing in common: really bad reload times. Now generally when facing off between creatures, you'll use your clip of ammo and then there'll be a good 5-second delay before you have to use your gun again. So the game prompts you to change your weapon, where you change to your secondary weapon. Once you've emptied that out, you can then shift back to your main weapon. I actually found this really strange, and it felt quite restrictive when constantly switching between the two weapons just for reloads. I can't recall many games where it's like, oh, you've used your first weapon, now you gotta wait 5 seconds, now switch to the other one, now you've used that up, now you can use the first one again. It's really weird. Another way that it could have been done was potentially ammo drops from enemies like in Doom, or just a tower that you set up that dispenses ammo if you're close by, so you don't have to worry about constantly swapping between the two. I just found it really strange. After you defeat a wave, you then get to further upgrade your defenses. This would be in the form of placing down towers and establishing turrets. Each map only allows for 15 turrets, which lends to its own strategy. Whilst on the smaller maps this would be suitable, some of these larger maps get quite huge, and 15 felt a tad restrictive in that regard. Now I get that this adds more strategy to your placement, but no flexibility in the entire game. I don't know, it just felt like a poor choice. Also in this stage, you'll get the ability to upgrade your turrets and set their attack patterns, from aiming at the ones with the most health to the least health, or the closest ones. I really liked this aspect of the game, predicting where they were going to be coming from out of both caves, and knowing which enemies allowed me to change the strategy of the turrets per wave. You could also kind of allocate that task to one of your team members. Once a wave starts, that's it, you gotta fight. You can die pretty easy if you aren't smart. I'm generally pretty suicidal, and in a lot of games I died a fair few times not being aware of my surroundings. But man, does this game get hectic when a lot is coming at you at once, and in turn it's a lot of fun. From the quiet OCD times of setting out your towers in a straight line to form an annoying maze, to then these gun-blazing battles with all these aliens. The enemies are all pretty basic, and you get to learn their abilities fairly quickly. Some of them are fast and hard-hitting melee creatures, and others are fast cannon fodder, to others being slow siege-like distractions. I recently played Dungeon Defenders with Val, and that game was so boring with some of the dumbest AI I've played against, and we gave up after a few waves. But in Sanctum, they actually have attack patterns and abilities that you have to work around. And that's where the fun and strategy comes in mid-battle. Like I said, I played this with Val and Cameron, and we were communicating on Discord during each wave. How each side was going, who was going to take care of which enemies and where. Sometimes in a wave, enemies won't just be attacking from one side. They'll have to, attack both sides. And you have to manage your team members, and that's a really fun element. But that also brings up 2 points about the game. My first point is don't play this game allowing randoms to join. Set it to friends only. Play this game with your friends. Other people suck and they are generally kids. They are also incredibly high levels and make the game way too easy when they just join your game and you guys are all like level 10 or something. It's bullshit. My second point is don't play this game by yourself. The game does let you do a campaign single player, but man is it boring. Both Val and Cameron tried this game out months ago when I first gifted it to them, and they didn't really think highly of it, and that's probably why we were hesitant to actually go in and play it. But then we set a night to play it all together, and after a few rounds, Val was saying this. Dude, this game is fun.
It's so much better with another person.
Yeah.
It's like not even worth playing by yourself.
No. I went to try the single player myself and I couldn't agree more. Play the campaign with a friend. Whilst the difficulty threshold increases every time someone joins, the game also becomes way more fun. Sanctum 2 does have a story, and it's really there for the sake of just being there, presented in a comic book strips in between loading screens. I honestly didn't pay one bit attention to it, so more of an effort included in their next game maybe might be nice, but overall who cares? The game is just a great time. The game currently costs $14 with a handful of DLC, and I'll probably get around to playing the DLC somewhere down the line if my mates want to play it more. Sanctum 2 is on sale so often it's not funny though. You'll find it on sale on either Steam, Humble Bundle or Bundle Stars one weekend or another. Add this one to your wishlist and buy a few codes for your mates. It's a great way to blow off some steam after a long day of work. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, hit the like and sub button. This is Sean and Maurice from Hihu. Thanks for watching.